Good day. Today, I'm joining you from my apartment here in Broomfield, which is about 7 minutes away from my house. It's going to be a short video this week. I actually didn't do any work at the house, and I filmed 0 things at the house this week. But what I thought I would do is talk about what's been happening since I haven't been physically working on the home. I got all of the basement repairs finalized, and it's going to be a hefty amount of work that Complete Basement Systems will do for me. And without further ado, let's talk about what they need to do. So I'm going to use some Blender animations that I'm making to highlight this process. So for starters, there's 2 types of movement that we have to fix. One is lateral movement, where the walls are caving in, and the other is vertical movement, where the actual foundation itself isn't level anymore. And so let's talk about the vertical movement first, because it's going to be the most expensive. I need 16 helical piers, which are basically these metal posts that go all the way down into either the bedrock, or once they reach a certain amount of tension that will hold the load of my foundation. And so these helical piers go all the way down until they have enough structural integrity to support the foundation, and they're bolted to the foundation so that it holds it in place vertically, so my foundation won't move vertically anymore. I need 16 of those. I need them all along the north wall, all along the east wall, and along part of the south wall. Part of the south wall is actually fine because you have a few corners where it jogs, and corners are actually the strongest part of the foundation. The weakest part of the foundation is when you have a long, straight section without anything to reinforce it in the middle. And so corners are strong, long walls are not. So that addresses the vertical movement in my foundation. The other issue that I have to address is lateral movement. And there's a little bit of lateral movement on all the walls, but it's within a tolerance that's fine for now. The west wall, however, has moved inwards by 3 inches, which is a non-trivial amount. If you think a 2x4, that's almost an entire 2x4 width. So they're gonna have to put 6 wall anchors along that wall. And wall anchors are essentially a giant metal plate that goes against the wall. It's about 2 by 4 feet, maybe 1.5 feet by 3 feet. And there's a metal rod that goes through it, and it goes out about 12 feet, where there's another metal anchor in the yard. And so essentially you have an anchor in the yard, a plate against the wall, and then what happens is you screw this metal bar in a manner such that it pulls the wall back into plumb, or at least holds the wall. And there's really actually 2 ways you can address vertical or lateral movement. You can put C-channel or I-beams or some kind of square metal post that gets tension against the wall with some kind of screw mechanism. Those are good, but they actually don't have the same load carrying capacity as the metal rods. I'll have to look it up, we'll put the number on screen, but the wall plates have a much higher tensile strength and can hold back a lot more weight, which is why in this case we're using wall anchors. So that's what's going on this week. The actual repairs will start in early March, the first week, and it's going to take about 9 days to drill everything and get everything fixed. The good news is I do get a lifetime transferable warranty for all walls after they've been repaired. And I did find out after optimizing some things with my engineer that this project is going to come in $10,000 cheaper than the original estimate. It's still going to be about a $40,000 project, which is a non-trivial amount of money. But I'm glad that it's 40 and not 50,000, and I'm ready to just get it done and move ahead with the project. So that is all I have for this week. Week 13, I get back into the house and I really start doing some little to-do list tasks, and it's a fun week. So I'll see you next week, and that's all for now.